It's time for Rabbi Minkowicz's Weekly Torah Lesson, a place where life's most difficult questions are answered. Here with his spiritual perspective and insight, Rabbi Minkowicz.
Welcome to this week's Torah lesson. This week's Torah portion is Parsha VAYISHLACH. The question of the week is, how can we live a life with zero pain and complete peace? So in this week's Torah portion, the Torah tells us, Yaakov, after finishing his mission in the house of his uncle Lavan, he's heading back with his family, and he gets news that Esav is coming after him and he's out to kill him. So Yaakov prepares for the engagement with Esav, and he prepares as follows. First of all, he goes ahead and he splits up the family, just in case something happens, at least some of it will be saved. He prepares a beautiful present, and he turns to God in prayer. And he says this most beautiful, profound prayer, and he says, God, I'm so humbled by all the charity that you've done for me. Because look, when I left my father's house, I came with a makli, with a staff. And now look at all the success I have. So Rashi asks a simple question, what does it mean he came with a staff? So Rashi said there's two interpretations. One is, I came with a staff, that's all what I had, a simple staff. And look how successful I am. And it's all thanks to you, God. So God, I need your help now again. The other answer is, God, when I left, you did tremendous miracles for me. My staff, I was able to break through the water. And it was makli resembles success. So the Rebbe explains, why does Rashi give us two interpretations? So the Rebbe explains a fascinating insight as follows. Anytime we turn to God, we can turn to God for two reasons. One is we can turn to God, so to speak, mishpat, judgment. Hey God, you owe it to me. I pray and I study and I do mitzvot. I want you to help me. You have to help me. You owe it to me. Or you can turn to God and say, God, listen, you don't have to do anything for me. I'm asking you to do some tzedakah, some charity. Please help me. Two ways you can ask God. Now, the reality is that when a person asks from judgment, God can either give or not give. But when you ask at tzedakah, God will give you charity. Here, what happens when someone is in a situation where they could ask for judgment? Hey, God, you really owe it to me. But they choose not to, and they say, God, you owe me nothing. I'm asking for charity. That is when you're going to get the real prize. Why? Because the truth is you could ask for judgment. You can say, God, you really owe it to me. But you're not going to use your credits, and you're going to realize that even the great, tremendous gifts you have is also a gift from God. Then God will give you the biggest gifts and give his blessings. So the Rebbe explains, Yaakov turns to God and he says, God, kiba makli. What does that mean? I could have said, listen, you owe it to me to be good to me. But even then, no, I'm going to tell you, God, I came with nothing. There's nothing that I came with. Everything comes from you. Everything that I amassed. I could have said, listen, I worked hard for it. No. I got it because you were good to me. And therefore I'm asking you to continue to be good to me and to be kind to me. And sure enough, God was extremely kind and beneficial to Yaakov. So in other words, Rebbe brings out that when a person approaches God with humility, then you don't have to have the struggles of the world to make you humble. So to answer the question, how can we merit to live a life without any pain and true peace and happiness? Is by realizing that everything comes from God, thanking God for everything, and asking God to continue to be kind to us. And if we humble ourselves, the world won't have to humble us. This week's Torah lesson is dedicated to the memory of Baruch ben Aryeh Leib and Shlomo Ben Yosef. May their souls be elevated by the Torah we're studying in their memory. Thanks so much for joining us for our weekly Torah lesson. For more information about Chabad, please visit our website.